This is a review of the LOFTEK high-quality outdoor portable flashlight with 3 modes. It has a high, low, and SOS beam, and it's also a 2,600 milliampere backup external battery to charge your smart devices with. This product is sold by Mew. Inside of the package, you'll find a connection cable to charge the flashlight with. The cable is 12 inches long. It has a USB connector on one end and a micro USB connector on the other. You'll find the flashlight itself, and inside of this is a lithium-ion 18650 battery rated at 2,600 milliampere hours. You have an attached lanyard to the flashlight and a brief instruction manual. You unscrew the back of the flashlight. You'll see that there's a 18650 lithium-ion battery inside of the flashlight. What I like is that the flashlight comes with the battery, and also the battery is replaceable. So even though this is rechargeable up to 500 to 1,000 times, you can still replace this in the future and keep using this flashlight for years. Just a word of caution, if you do take this battery out, it is unmarked. There is no plus and minus symbols on the battery, so make sure you insert it exactly the way you removed it. On the front of the flashlight here you'll see an off-on button, and if you press it the flashlight will come on. Here you can see the bright beam. Now you can see the low beam. And here you can see an SOS flashing light to show an emergency in red color. I said SOS flashing. It's not flashing SOS. It's just simply flashing so that you can use it as a red light to indicate a hazard. On the back side here you'll see it looks like a regular flashlight except for a unique thing. It opens up. Here you can see the bottom micro USB connector is a charging port. Right above that is a USB 5-volt output port that you can use to charge your smart devices, and besides that is an LED that will indicate that the battery is charging. The specifications state that the charging input should be 5 volts DC at 700 milliamps, and the output is 5 volts DC at 1 amp. Charging time using this port is 5 hours. When you turn the power on to charge this, you can see the red LED come on to indicate that the battery is charging. When charge is complete, the red LED will go off and the battery will stop charging because it's sensed that its charge capacity has been reached. This output port here will be able to charge a smartphone like an Apple iPhone, for example, but the cable it comes with is only good for plugging it into this port and charging an Android type device. So you may have to use your own personal cables. We're going to test this output port charging some devices. It's rated at 2,600 milliampere hours. But typically out of such batteries you only get about 70% efficiency because there's circuitry inside of here and in your smart device that also consume and use energy. I'd like to point out that the housing of the flashlight is made of high quality aircraft aluminum. It's nicely machined. It has a serrated grip on it to give you a good firm grip on the flashlight to hold it when it's wet, and it's a pretty good beam. The enclosure also has a nice black anodized finish on it. LED is a Q5 WD Cree, which is rated at 160 lumens. The flashlight head itself is a shadow mirror finish, which gives a tight, sharp center beam with a little bit of dispersion. The specifications claim a shooting distance of 200 meters. The flashlight is compact and lightweight and quite powerful, and it weighs in at 4 7/8 ounces. It is specified in the instructions that it takes 2 to 3 full charges before the battery reaches its optimum performance. In addition, if you're using the flashlight to charge your phone, it's recommended that you don't use the flashlight at the same time as far as a light source, or vice versa. Either charge your phone or use the beam, one or the other. This is a nice product. I like it because it's good to travel with, to take with you on a trip. Use it in the hotel room when it's dark, and in case of emergencies you can always charge your phone. It's also ideal to put into your car because you need an emergency flashlight there, and also if something happens, your car dies and the battery's dead, you can take this flashlight out and use it for safety reasons or to charge your smartphone and use it. Here you can see the beam shot against the wall. You'll see a little flickering. The human eye can't see that. That's the flickering because of the electronics in the flashlight. It's pulsing the light, and the camera can see it. The flashlight is quite bright. It doesn't have a very broad beam. It's more of a tight beam with not a lot of throw around the outside. This is the high beam. It's rated at 160 lumens. This is the low beam. And then here you have the emergency beam. And you can see it doesn't have a center at all. It's more of a spiral pattern of flashing lights that you can see and warn somebody that something is wrong and they should slow down, for example, on the road. Here you can see the warning flash. As you can see, there's no center to this beam. It's just a series of concentric LEDs flashing red, and at a distance they're really dissipated, so it's going to be hard to broadcast a long distance there. Here you can see the 160 lumen flashlight. I'm going to turn on a Phoenix E21, which is rated at 150 lumens. You can see a bit of a difference. The Phoenix is slightly brighter in the center, but it has a very deep well, so it has a broader throw on the flashlight and lights a brighter area. But overall, there's not that much difference between the two, which means that the flashlight we're testing is doing a pretty good job. Done extensive testing on this flashlight. We've charged it 3 or 4 times and charged products with it, and the attempt there was to check the capacity of the battery. And I've done extensive testing in comparing the flashlight to what I would call high-end professional flashlights. As far as the flashlight's concerned, this is between a 4 and a 5. I don't give it a 5 only because it's not waterproof, and because this end opens up. If you ever dropped it in water, you pretty much get the electronics pretty wet. So from that standpoint, I can't really give it a 5, I don't think, but say it's a 4.5. From the capacity of the battery standpoint, the product is really only about a 3.5. In my testing, I was able to get 55.7% of the efficiency of the battery out of here into charging a product. That equaled 1,448.4 milliampere hours. That's enough to charge an iPhone 4 one complete charge. Its performance as a charging device wasn't ideal, but it was still fair. I rate this product overall as a 4-star product. It would be nice to have in a car, because if you're out on the road and your car breaks down, you got a flashlight to look under the hood, or you've got a flashlight to walk down the road and see your way. In addition to that, if your phone's dead, you have something to plug in and charge your phone, and get enough charge to use your phone to call for help. The review is done by JJ CEO. I'd like you to know I was supplied a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to give a fair and honest review.